Now that we are done with the Power BI installation, let's get to the deep introduction of Power BI Desktop. So this is the first view of your Power BI Desktop. On the top left corner, you can see some icons for save, undo, redo. These are basically your quick access toolbar in Power BI. Here in the middle is the title bar where you can see the name of your file. Now that we have not given any name to our file, that's the reason it's showing as untitled. Once you save it with a name, you would be able to see the name of your file over there. Now here you can see options like home, insert, modeling, view and all. So that is part of your ribbon tab. Under each of these options, you can see that there are sub options for those. I'll go through all these options later in the course. Now if you click on this file, you can see options like new, open, save, save as. I hope you all are familiar with these. With get data, I'll discuss that in detail later, but just to give you an idea, you can connect your files not only in different file formats but from different data sources as well. With import, I can use different templates, I can import different data models. Using import, you can import your report in the form of a PDF or a Power BI template. Now, one of the important features of Power BI, so let's say I wanted to do some changes to my report. So I can do that under options and settings. So when I click on this and go to options, now one important thing that you need to understand here is that by default, Power BI takes the date and time format based on your time zone. What I mean to say is that if your computer system has the format of DDMMYY as you can see here, then your Power BI will follow the same format. Now the question is, what happens if you do not change the time zone? Say for example, I work on US data and the US follow the format MMDDYY, unlike what is followed in India, that is DDMMYY. What will happen is it will throw an error. So in that case, how can you change the time zone or the region of your data? So it's very simple. Just scroll down here, go to the current file and click on regional settings. So you can see here by default it's showing the locale as English India. Now for example, I want to change it to United States. So here it is. Okay. So by doing this, you can easily change the regional settings of your data. Okay. So the next option that we have to take care of in Power BI in the beginning itself is we have to uncheck this option, auto select new relationships after data is loaded. Now what happens when this option is checked is whenever you load data into your Power BI, the smart AI within this will automatically create relationships between your data. So maybe it may be good, helpful, but in most of the cases, it's not what we are looking for. So when you uncheck this option, Power BI gives you an opportunity to create your own relationships between your worksheets or workbooks or whatever data sources. So as per your requirements, if you need to do any changes, you can come to this options, check and uncheck the settings and get it ready as per your requirement and then click OK. Okay. So now you can see that there are three important icons on the left side of my Power BI desktop. So this one is for reports. So reports are visuals or charts that you will create here. Now the second one is data. So whatever data that you have connected, basically you will get a complete information of that over here. Okay. Now the third one is models. Models is how we can create relationship between our data. So this is the area where we create relationships. So these are some of the very important features for any BI users. Report. Here we create reports. Data, where we'll be able to see our connected data sources. And the last one, that is models, where we create relationships. Okay, now if I go down, you can see the page information. So by double clicking, we can rename the page. For example, I'll call it the master data and I'll hit enter. So you can see that the page name is now changed. Now you can add more pages by clicking on this plus sign. So it's very similar to your worksheet. Now if you look at the right side of this workspace, there are three important options: fields, visualizations, and filters. Fields. So whatever data that is connected with Power BI will be shown under the fields section. Okay, under visualization, you can see that there are numerous options for charts that can help us create interactive dashboards. And for every chart, you can see that we have the values and the format options available. We'll discuss more about this later on. So for whatever charts or fields that we have selected from here, we want to apply any filters, we can make use of the filters option. For example, if I connect my Power BI with data from 4 financial years, say 2017 to 2020, and I want to display data only for 2019 and 2020, then I can use the filters option. All these options will be discussed in depth later on. This is just an introduction to Power BI. You can also see that there's a help tab here. Just to give you a rough overview. Now if you want to download any practice documents, you can do it over here. Then the Power BI blog, I would highly recommend you to check this option. If you go to Power BI blog, you can get yourself updated with all the latest updates in Power BI. And then is the community. So we call it the PBUG, that is the Power BI user group. So this is the community where millions of users around the world are connected. So you can also subscribe to this. You can get help from the fellow users there, or you can also help them if they face any problems. So you can make use of this platform to raise your queries and get it sorted with the help of others. See that there are users around the world who are ready to help you. So let me show you. Click on this community. So when you click on this, you can see that you will be taken to this Power BI community group page. So you can see there are so many questions and answers available. So you can subscribe to this and keep yourself updated with Power BI. Okay, so let's go back to our Power BI workspace. So these are the tools that Power BI gives you, which are really helpful. So this was a quick introduction about Power BI Desktop. In the next segment, we'll see how we can get our data connected to Power BI. So under the Home tab, you can see that there's an option Get Data. Before getting started with that option, one question that usually arises is, can I connect different data formats to my Power BI? For example, my data is on a website. So will I be able to connect that data to my Power BI? The answer is yes, and let me show you how.